live cast, real time, live with lots of wonderful people ready to rock and roll. This is the dual competition between New York Alliance and the Philadelphia Owls. And this is the first time that these teams are going to be meeting one another virtually. And this is the East Coast contingency of GymACT. And I wish everyone today the best of luck. Let's have lots of fun and be safe out there. So, my name is Breeze Olson. I come to you from Santa Cruz, California, where today the weather is beautiful and sunny. Man, I love this time of the year. Spring has come early and we're really enjoying it. So, I hope wherever you are, that life is good and safe and that you are healthy and happy. So, here to uh, present this event is the Uber Geeks of Virtual Stars Gymnastics. This production is being brought to you by the Men's Collegiate Gymnastics YouTube channel. Thank you for helping us out, John. This is a great thing that's happening, spreading the word and letting the world know about gymnastics in our own little way. And so let me go ahead and introduce the local teams. So our host for today is the New York Alliance out of Rochester, New York. They come to us from the Bright Raven Gymnastics uh, gym. And Coach Garrison Clark, he is going to come on air in just a moment to introduce his own team. Assisting him today is AJ Banker. He is a former competitor for and currently the head coach for Brockport men's gymnastics team. So he's going to be actually coaching the guys while Garrison is on the backstage with us, helping run the meet virtually, the virtual part of the meet. So thank you, Garrison, for taking care of that. So he's going to be what we call the team representatives. So Garrison, are you there with us? Let's hear your voice.
I'm here, Breeze.
Awesome. Welcome and thanks for having us. Thanks for being the gracious host for the evening. It is evening already, your time. We're still in the late afternoon, my end. You guys are on the East Coast. I'm over here on the West Coast. This is a world event brought together by so many people in so many places. Thank you for having us and for starting this up, being the catalyst for this event today. So who do you have with you today, sir?
Yeah, so today we have 4 awesome competitors joining us. So going from the left to the right, we have graduate student Brandon Henderson. We're going to have team captain Ryan Bristow. Graduating senior and soon to be active duty Air Force Craig Jason. And our second team captain, Casey Casara.
Awesome. Good luck today, gentlemen. That is awesome. That is the lineup for New York Alliance from Rochester, New York. That's fantastic. And I'm going to go right ahead now and introduce our second team for the evening. We have the Philadelphia Owls, and they are coming to us today, tonight, this morning, wherever you are, from the Philadelphia Boys Gymnastics Club. Thanks, Freddie, for having us. And Coach Jesse Kitson-Abelson, my good friend and buddy, he is going to be the head, well, he is the head coach for the team, and he's going to be introducing his guys momentarily. Jesse, are you there with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, brother. Come on through and
Perfect.
introduce your team, please.
Sure. Well, everybody out there in the world watching tonight, thanks for all the parents and supporters tuning in tonight to watch the guys. We're here live in Philadelphia, and we're excited to go against the New York Alliance, this time virtually, for this East Coast rivalry. So I'll introduce you to the guys. We've got 15 guys on the team. So starting from the right side, we've got Nikki Latka, a freshman from New York. We've got Stephen Rathbone, freshman from Virginia. We've got Nicolino Di Battista, a senior from Pennsylvania. He's a co-captain. Then we've got Matt Coljohn from Ohio. He's a sophomore. And then we've got Blake Hazel from Virginia, a freshman. And next to him, we've got Garrett McDaniel. He's a co-captain from Montgomery, Alabama, junior. And then we have Forrest Kelly from New Jersey. He is a junior as well. And we've got Jared Holmes from Pennsylvania, a sophomore. We've got Brandon Baskin from Maryland. He's a freshman. Caden Thurber from New Hampshire. He is a senior. We've got David Myers from Maryland. He is a junior. And we've got Zach Raymond from North Carolina, freshman. And we've got Josh Moore, a sophomore from Pennsylvania. We've got Jacob Biller, a sophomore from Minnesota. And lastly, Alex Skalkos, the tallest guy on the team, freshman from Massachusetts. And let's get Fred on the camera too. Fred, come on over here. Assistant coach Fred Turoff right here. We're at his gym facility helping us keep gymnastics alive in Philadelphia. So that's all from us. I'll head it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jesse. That is phenomenal. I love that Fred just stepped in right there. Freddie, of course, was the head coach for the Owls for the Temple gymnastics team for many, many moons just prior to Jesse taking over that mantle. And Freddie is one of the largest small people I know. And he's good people right there, man. Freddie is a great friend and a mentor, and I love and appreciate him tremendously. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the teams competing tonight. We have the New York Alliance team hosting and the Owls as their competitors. I would like to attempt now to play for us. So, if you are able, please stand in for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched, so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red bell, the bombs bursting in air, it proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, please go ahead and make your way to the first competitive event for your 2-minute one touch while I take a little bit of time to introduce to you the friends and family, our virtual cohort for this evening. This is, of course, a event brought to you from GymACT. And GymACT, our mission statements is that we are here to foster the growth of men's collegiate gymnastics programs, strengthen and raise the level of our sport, and protect the relationships and integrity of college gymnastics. While promoting the essence of the sport and its competitiveness, we provide ideas and tools to inspire the creation of new teams and support existing programs in their pursuit of higher standards. Of course, GymACT started with 5 teams early on, and we now have grown to 11 teams with the recent addition of both Georgia United as well as Kansas City United just this year. We're stoked to have them in our family. And let me go ahead and introduce the virtual team from the virtual star gymnastics world. The uber geek, the biggest digital brain I know is Mr. Robert Davis. Robert, thanks for taking care of all of the materials and the judging needs for this competition. And also on the other side of the screen is John Lucas, who is our production manager and meet organizer while the meet is happening. Thank you, John, for being here with us. I have from multiple places in the world our judges, our esteemed judges. Gentlemen, thank you for being here with us today. Mr. Mike Cook from Hillsboro, Oregon. Thank you, Mike, for being with us. We have from Chandler, Arizona, Peter Wiggin. From the Chicago area, Greg Didich. Thank you, Greg, for being here with us. Greg is a newbie. The other guys have already done events with me, so they know that I will say goofy things and butcher names all day long. So thanks for putting up with me for the first time, Greg. I welcome you into our virtual gymnastics family. All right. Commentators with me today. Oh, and judges, please go on ahead and go back to the management channel so you guys can take care of your business with the meet running in the background. Thank you so much for everything you do. Good luck and have fun. Bring it out tonight for our commentating is from New York-ish, Mr. David Albaranes. Dave,
Hey,
welcome. Thanks for
Breeze.
being here, buddy.
Yeah, no, stoked to be here.
I'm gonna have to come up with a new way of saying your last name every time we do this. It's gonna be fantastic. I can barely say my name straight, let alone someone else's name. That's what happens when you put a English as a second language speaker to narrate it. Let's go with nowadays also from New York we have Richie McGuire. Boop, boop.
Pleasure to be with you, Breeze.
Oh, I am the one who's having all the pleasure. I can tell you. You guys, thank you for being here. Of course, Dave, you were the man who started the New York Alliance team a few moons ago, and back in 2015, and I appreciate that. I want to say a personal thanks to you for being the catalyst for this team to exist, which is the reason we're here today. We have a team because of what you did and the history that you set forth. So thank you for that, sir. And Richie, of course, you were on the Temple team back in the Stone Ages.
That's right. From '99 till 2003 was my last year competing for the Owls.
Boom, and I can say Stone Ages because I'm even older than dirt, if that's the case. So that's how that works. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually ready to go ahead and start the meet. I think the judges are ready to go. I'm going to do one last check-in with them before we say. All right, we are in fact ready. Yeah, so Nia, you are still here with us in a live air channel. I
Moving
need you
over
to
now.
go.
I just
Thank
realized.
you, my dear. Yeah, there you go. So you can go ahead and pay attention to the actual running of the meet while we babble about it. We got the easy job here. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear my voice, this is Breeze Olson from Santa Cruz, California. I also am the one of the coaches for New York. Yeah, right. I wish. No, I don't. I am one of the coaches for NorCal United. Sorry, Dave.
Don't steal my
And
team, Breeze.
I know, right? I got my script in front of me, and that's what happens when I actually read things. I don't say what I'm supposed to say. So now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're seeing this video, you're either on YouTube or you're visiting the Virtual Stars Gymnastics website, where this meet is being broadcast live, and you also get to see the order of competitors as well as their scores as soon as the judges give them out. So let's go ahead and enjoy this meet. First on floor from New York Alliance, we have Mr. Craig Jason. So Dave, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away here, and let's talk about what Craig is doing.
Yeah, here comes Craig. Starting us off for New York Alliance. Coming through. Solid 1.5. Small hop on that landing. Coming through. Front layout full. We're going to see some non-acro here now.
Yeah, John, we're getting a little bit of feedback probably from your end on the YouTube channel.
It's going into a V press here. Solid
Nice.
V.
I love seeing the V.
He's going to press through to the handstand.
There's some
Nice
good solid
hold.
gymnastics here from Craig today. I like that.
Craig's a very solid, clean gymnast. This will be his last pass here. Back layout. Oh, sorry, he's got one more.
Oh, you got a little foot
Gotta
dusting to do
finish.
before he goes.
A little suspense. Come in with the double full.
Great
Small
job.
hop on the landing.
Yeah.
Solid routine from Craig.
Yeah, and I'm going to let the audience know that we are swapping the judges back and forth between teams. So we're going to go right on ahead to the Philadelphia Boys Gymnastics Club, where the Owls will be performing. And first up from the Owls will be David Myers. So let's go ahead and swap over. And the judges, as soon as they're ready, we're gonna keep the commentating just to a minimum, just for the time being, to make sure that we get the speed of the meet going. But we'll settle into a rhythm pretty soon. All right, Richie, as soon as you see or want to start telling us a little bit of history about Dave, it's up to you.
Sure. I actually don't know Dave too well, but I can say that floor is one of the preferred events to start on, because mainly you just can't fall off of it. All the other events are a bit more quick twitched, and one little bounce could send you off. So floor was always a nice solid event to start on, because you have a bit more margin for error. So I gotta say that, yeah, floor is the way to start when you can start on it.
Definitely. So for the viewers at home, just so that you get a little glimpse of what's going on in the background, is that we have the judges who are basically we have on floor. We have Mike Cook, who is doing the execution score for both teams. So I of course when the first guy goes, the judges always take a little bit longer in the first score. They talk to one another a little bit more to make sure that they're in range and that everything is copacetic on their end, and entering of the scores to make sure that they get all the numbers in the right places. So that all, of course, is brought to us by Virtual Stars Gymnastics, a scoring system that was built from scratch by my friend Robert Davidson himself. So I'm extremely proud of the work that he's done, and he's created a system that is robust and very user friendly. So I'm happy to announce that this is up and running, and you can see right away in the Virtual Stars Gymnastics website that the scores are starting to show. We got ourselves
and we're on the floor. Here comes the first tumble. A nice back full, sticks it. Oh, and look at that. Yeah. A little butterfly side pass. Nice to see. Now looks like we're going into our strength hold and another V. There you go, Breeze.
I love these, man. I know, right? I love it, especially because it's definitely a skill that I was never able to do myself. So, it's I appreciate
it's a very body-specific skill, the V. Much more so than mana. A nice layout stuck there. Former Temple Owl Bill Roth used to do a mana and push through to handstand. It was quite incredible. And then we have a front layout punch front, handles it nicely. And he does a little transition into the corner. And it looks like we're probably a little foot dusting too. And we're going to make our last pass. And we have a front full. Bit of a hop on the landing, but not bad. Well done for a first guy up.
Yeah, that first guy up position is always it's such a crucial routine. You want to set the tone for the meet. You want to make sure that the routine is as clean as it can be. You want to have a guy that goes up and hits it, right? It's the Iceman of the meet. It should be that guy right there. And indeed, David Myers did a great job starting off for the. And I'm happy to see that we're going to see some great gymnastics today. If that's how we're starting, I can only hope for more. That's really what it goes down from there. So awesome.
That's a great point you make, Breeze. Setting the tone and the momentum, and gymnastics is a team sport, but when we're
okay. So hey, I'm gonna pause you for just a second there, bud, because this is how the virtual world works, right? And so this is the first time that we're going to be taking care of a review of a routine, if you will, and our backup plan is pretty straightforward, where in the event of something going wrong, either with the connection or the network, or in this case, we had an issue with the camera angle where the camera was not panned enough for the athlete to be seen in the corner. So what we're doing now is we're going to go through the motions. They're talking you through in the background right now to find out. They're going to review the routine by there's a second camera that's placed right next to the broadcast. I got you, John. So the second camera that is set up right next to the Zoom camera that we've been watching, and that one is recording every routine separately, and it's our backup system so that if something does happen, we can go back to it. And here you see what's going on. We're going to actually in the world analog, if you will. This is a transference of imagery, because this camera will have caught hopefully the correct angles for that one transition that was missed in the webcast. So bear with us for just a moment here as we take care of the business, and you're seeing it in real live what the judges are going to adjust to, and it's one of the nice things is that you get to play back the videos where in the real live meet, if the judge falls asleep for any reason, that's it, right? You just got to give the guy a perfect score.
Yeah, and there's also the nice inadvertent nod to the movie Inception, because we got video within a video. And if we could just get one more video, then we'd be spot on.
There you go.
This is always tricky for gymnasts because, usually you'll have to wait between routines and judging errors can happen. And you're kind of, you have to wait, and Henderson's coming up next on floor. So gymnastics, it can be a mental game too, because he's ready to go. But on the back end of things, we got to get the judging right before he's ready to compete.
Indeed, indeed. And it's that's the thing about real life competition, and one of the reasons why, and I'm going to toot our own horn in this factor right here, is that GymACT has been working so hard to make these competitions seem as much as possible seamless to the athletes, as in matching what the real experience of competition is. And yes, in a real time competition, you're waiting for your turn, and you have to perform when that hand gets raised, not when you're ready. And this is what happens, right? Other ways of virtual gymnastics competitions is that people are submitting routines to get evaluated, and that's a fantastic way to get those scores. But you're sitting in your gym, when you feel good you go. It's the pressure is all you on yourself. But in the real world, when your other team is watching, when the judges are there, when you're ready to go and they don't call your name yet, you got to sit back and cool off, and then psych back up again. Those are the strategies that you have to learn in real life, and only the meet teaches you that.
I'm ready for Brandon.
And I can hear in the background that we're ready to go on floor for the next athlete from New York Alliance, Brandon Henderson.
All right. Brandon probably has some of the most senior tenure here with New York Alliance. The team started up back in 2015, and the first competition was West Point. Brandon was actually a student at University of Buffalo. He was on that very first team, that very first competition. He's
There
a
it
ring
is.
guy.
Straight body
He's a ring
planche.
guy, so we got a straight body planche.
I love it when athletes, just capitalize on their strengths, right? In this case, literally, as you say, he's a rings guy, so he's strong as an ox. So why not do a very difficult skill on the floor exercise, a straight-legged planche? That is hard to do. A lot of forces on the shoulders.
Last pass, back
Nice
layout, a little
job.
bit of a step.
Yeah,
But
a nice
routine,
clean routine.
Brandon.
Exactly.
Short and sweet.
Get in, get out. Now, these athletes are required to have, on floor exercise, they have to have at minimum of 7 skills to reach the maximum 10-point execution. And he definitely had more than 7 skills. And once you clear that mark, you just get off before you make any mistakes. That's a good strategy as far as I'm concerned. And moving right along, go ahead, Richie. You have something to say?
Yeah, I was just saying, up next for the Philadelphia Owls, we're going to have Garrett McDaniel, a gentleman from Montgomery, Alabama, recreational therapy major, and we're off to the races here. Let's see what his first pass is saying. Ooh, nice front double full.
I'm going to correct you there, though, because this is actually Nikki Latka.
Oh, gosh, you are absolutely correct.
The event.
I did, yes. So
I don't get a chance to get you straightened up. So this is good.
We all make mistakes from time.
Yes, we do.
And time again. And there we have his static strength move, or press to handstand. And looks like we're rounding probably into the final pass here. Nice front full, tiny little hop, and nope, we got one more coming up. And ends with a nice layup. Oh, we're still going.
He doesn't want to get off the floor, man. He wants to tumble. He's got more stuff to show us.
You know what it is? I'm used to, when we competed, it was standard to do 4 passes. And now they just got to fit more into there. And he struggled a little bit with that planche, but he's going to keep it moving on. And I believe this is going to be the final pass. And he ends with the Rudy, small hop.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about that bell. That wasn't just a cowbell to let you know that it is dinner time. That is actually the timing bell for the floor exercise. The floor exercise routine can have a maximum of 70 seconds. So at the 1 minute mark, we ring the bell to announce to the athlete that you have 10 seconds to finish his routine. So, if you go past the 70 seconds, you get a deduction. So you can still tumble and continue your routine after that, but you will be deducted. So you want to make sure that you stay within the time. And yes, athletes these days are maximizing the number of skills that they can get as much difficulty in as possible within those 70 seconds. And not uncommon to have 6 or 7 passes. And here we go on the floor exercise from New York Alliance, Ryan Bristow.
Yeah, I've got Bristow out. Like Garrison said, Ryan Bristow is one of the team captains, along with Casey Casara.
All
Coming
right.
out, big double back. Got to work a little bit on the landing there.
Notice that this athlete is using a landing mat for his extra safety. And tonight, in fact, tomorrow is the last day that the college athletes are allowed to use a 4-inch mat for the landing on floor. This is the NCAA rule that after the Winter Cup, which is happening right now, these guys are no longer allowed to use the extra safety mat.
Front layout half there. Nice non-acro to the corner. Take a breath. Back layout. Let's see if he gets the stick. All right, little hot.
Nearly. Of course, we're always looking for those stuck landings, and on floor exercise, the last pass is eligible for a stick bonus. But of course, every landing on the floor counts. So, you know, you want to make sure that you don't give away any points on your landing, and you know, every little step. If you take a step that's smaller than, say, your own foot, that'll be a 1/10 off. A big step, you know, about a shoulder width apart, go up to 3/10 off, or even up from there if you go further. So I think we're gonna stick to the Owls now for back to back a few times, because we're done with the athletes from the New York Alliance. On the floor exercise for the Owls, we have Zach Raymond.
That's right. And I spoke to Coach Jesse the other day, and looks like they're shuffling things up today. So there's going to be a couple new people, new faces. But we saw Zach at the last competition. He opens with a nice double back there, and layout as a side pass, moving along smoothly here so far. Was that 2.5 there?
That was 2.5 for sure.
Yes, it was. Sorry, hard to see. My connection slowed a little bit. 2.5, and looks like we have another V.
Beautifully executed.
Just some great presentation here.
I'm actually having a little bit of connection problems, so if somebody wants to take over for me, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you. All right, this athlete is presenting some really beautiful, elegant gymnastics. This is exactly what I like to see. The difficulty is just right for his ability, and he's presenting some nice passes, not giving the judges a lot of work to do. Keep that pen off the paper is the number one goal of the gymnast. There's the 60-second bell. Double full stuck landing. Well done.
Nice.
Ooh, he fought for that.
Now, I mentioned before the stuck landing on a dismount, eligible for a bonus, right? So if the athlete performs a C or higher difficulty skill and sticks it, he will get a green flag from the judges, and you will also see that being listed right there on Virtual Stars Gymnastics. We have if your screen is set to high enough resolution anyway, you will see the stuck bonus flag shown on your screen. If you're on your cell phones, you might not see the stick column, just FYI. All right. So
to Casey.
Yeah, we're gonna go right back again to Casey Casara from New York Alliance. Actually, we're not quite back to the back-to-back yet. We got a couple guys.
Oh, you all right? We're building up suspense for Casey. He's got
yeah. Oh man, my bad.
All right.
John, I'm sorry, I muted the camera.
Casey's jumping in. All right, you don't want to blink. Watch this first pass. He's coming out with a double-double. Big E pass.
Huge pass.
Huge. That was a big first skill.
2 flips, 2 twists. That is a lot of. There's a lot of floor and ceiling going past your eyeballs in that skill, man.
Casey is a floor and vault guy. You just watch that second pass, front layout to front full. He's bounding out of the floor. This guy has some serious tumbling power. He's going to get in his non-acro here, but this routine is far from over. Nice control.
Non-acrobatic, of course, is one of the skills that are required. You got to perform something that's not tumbling in your routine, and that was his choice, the Preston handstand.
Double full side pass. Showing the heels come together for that stick.
You would think this is a requirement of the routine, the little foot dusting, but it's not. That's just a breathing moment. half in, half out as a dismount. Way to take it hard on a landing there. Great job, Casey.
Yeah, Casey's got a 14.2 start value. That's a big set. So hopefully that'll put up a big score for New York Alliance.
Yep. Well, that was a huge routine. He's indeed a powerful athlete, and it's always great to see the level of difficulty done safely, and in this case, for the most part, clean. If anything, he had a little too much power, bounced past his passes a few times. So great job. So we are going to go now to 3 back-to-back Owl athletes. As the New York Alliance only had 4 guys on floor exercise, now we have Brandon Baskin for the Owls, coming live to us from Philadelphia. Oh, I'm glad to see he bounced out of that. That was a sketchy landing. So that was a double back landing. It's a hard thing to do a double back on floor exercise, man. That's a lot of power. You can see he's got some beautiful lines shown on his non-acrobatic skills. Nice and smooth on his press to handstand.
Good hold on that handstand. You always want to make sure you're holding so that you get the value of the skill.
That's right. The 2-second hold is the required amount, and of course, it doesn't start until the feet come together. Front layout, a little bit of leg separation, but it was definitely a laid out. And let's see what he does for his dismount, perhaps.
One more pass. Solid stick there.
Yeah.
That was really
an
upright stick. Real proper.
Like a lawn dart. There he goes. Oh, bet he was wishing he had that lawn dart on that last one, too. Great job. This was Brandon Baskin for the Owls, heading to us from the Philadelphia boys gymnastics team club, excuse me. And once again, this is the gym of Freddie Turoff, who was longtime coach for the Temple University gymnastics team. Well, so we're moving right along here. Floor exercise is always the slowest event as far as the amount of time that it takes in the competition. Also, the first event always takes a little bit longer for the meet rhythm to sort of to pick up, right? And even for us as narrators, we're like, okay, what do we say? What do we do? Where do we go? Thank you all for being here. Virtual Stars Gymnastics is presenting this, and we are ready to go for the next guy, Tayden Thurber, whose cell phone we got to use earlier to test some things. So thanks, Tayden, for that. And Tayden comes to us from Philadelphia. He is originally from Nashua, New Hampshire. And apparently he's best buds with Naruto. It's an important fact to state in your bio. It's a big thing. So here we go. This is going to be Tayden Thurber for the Owls on floor exercise.
Well, my connection seems to be back up, so I think I can jump on the commentating for this one.
Awesome.
We have Tayden. Thank you. We have Tayden stepping on. First pass on their way. Oh, double front. A big step on the landing, but that's a solid first pass there. Oh, almost a stick on the Arabian double front. So far, 2 multiple flipping elements back to back. Solid Rudy, small hop. Moving into our flexibility element here. Let's see how he handles his press handstand. And we'll start counting that 2 seconds once the legs get together, as Breeze had mentioned. Well done so far. A nice little dive roll to get into the corner.
Keeping that artistic part of gymnastics alive. I like it. 2.5.
2.5. Oh, and we have one more pass. Let's see what it's going to be. I'm going to guess double full. What do you guys got?
Oh, I think so. If he can do a 2.5 on his second to last pass. Stick it.
Almost with the stick. Solid routine from Tayden Thurber. Well done, Owls.
Saved by the bell. That was a very good routine. Tayden, of course, is showing us some great ability, both flipping, twisting, as well as the non-acrobatic skills. I like to see that. The floor is the most versatile of all events, where you get to really show your strengths, you get to show your elegance, you get to show the best of what you got. It's kind of the quintessential gymnastics apparatus, right? You think of gymnastics, you think of flips, and and if you can do it on the ground, if you can do it on your driveway or on the dance floor in front of your friends, that's where it's at. And these guys, of course, are showing incredibly difficult skills. The floor exercise is a 40 by 40-foot square with a couple of layers of padding and some springs underneath it. But I tell you, there's still an incredible amount of power and agility that's required of these athletes. And when it's a short landing and if it looks like it hurts, I guarantee you it did. And I think that we're ready to go with Nicolino Di Battista on the floor exercise for the Owls. The judges turns out Nico's the one who wasn't ready. The judges are ready to go. Aha.
And there he goes saluting, and Nicolino is team captain for the Owls. And let's see what he got. Nice front double full to start off. Hitch kick steps in the corner. Second pass underway. Whoa, okay. 2.5 punch front layout half. Beautifully done.
Yeah, those connecting skills, if they're of difficulty high enough, they get bonus points for connecting.
And that was a 1.5 punch front full, tiny hop in. Oh, nice windmill to split. Man after my own heart. Of course,
that was just for you.
Yeah, after I stopped competing gymnastics, I went into the world of breaking, or breakdancing, as some people may know it, which will be in the 2024 Olympics coming up. Handles his press element quite well. Rudy's side pass sticks the landing. Little cartwheel, kick the handstand, and now it looks like we're rounding for the home stretch here. Double full, tiny step on the landing. Excellent routine by Nicolino Di Battista.
Way to go,
from
Nico.
the Owls.
Great job, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the first rotation, and that was floor exercise in the bag. So congratulations to all the athletes who just did their first event. And we're looking at the team scores, of course, are also showing right here on the Virtual Stars Gymnastics website. And you will notice, however, that there's probably going to be a pretty high disparity between the scores for the teams today, as the Owls are competing with the full roster, and New York Alliance, they're going to have a couple of guys shy of the required 5 up for the team score. Well, not required, excuse me. It's allotted a number, if you will. You can actually compete 6 athletes, and 5 scores will count on each of the events. So when you see the Owls competing 6 guys, if one of them makes a bad mistake in one of the events, the other guys can pick up that slack and still keep that team score as high as possible. So as we get the scores in for the athletes, you will notice also we're keeping track of the number of sticks on the routines that we have. And so far, the Owls are on the lead with the sticks. They had 1 stick on the landing on floor exercise. So that's good to see there on the scoreboard. If you're following along, virtualstarsgymnastics.com. And if you go to the GymACT Live, link, and you will find the New York Alliance versus Owls competition right there and there. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you can go ahead and make some comments right there on the page. And if you do, we urge you to pitch in. Let us know how you feel about things and how we're doing. Shout outs, whatever. We'll let you know what's happening. Anyone else who haven't watched this? What we had one user who was having some issues with the sound, and I think, John, if you're aware of that on the YouTube, I don't know if there's a issue with the sound there or not, but no, it looks like it's working on my end. I'm gonna go with Matthew. I hope you got your sound fixed on your YouTube scene over there. So that's what we're having. All right, and what you're watching right now is we have the guys. They're having their 1 touch. The Owls, of course, they had extra guys on the floor exercise, and they do get by the rules, they get a 2-minute 1 touch on each event as we go from one to the other. So thank you for bearing with us here as we move along the maneuvers of a gymnastics competition, and we are watching New York Alliance versus the Philadelphia Owls, the East Coast contingency of GymACT. GymACT, of course, is a nonprofit organization. If you go to gymact.org, you will find our donate buttons. Please donate generously. We can use it, and gymnastics can too. I think we're ready to start. Shut me up. Let's go. Gymnastics is on the way.
We got Brandon Henderson coming up. Oh, he's ready. We're going on Pommel Horse. Starting with some scissor work. Back to the middle.
It is a brave man to put a bright colored socks on his
I love those
feet.
orange socks. That is awesome. Some one pommel work there. Nice job. Picking back up. Should be circle to handstand coming up. Solid set from Brandon. Solid set from Brandon. Always big to hit when you come up on that first pommel horse routine. We only have 2 competing for NYA tonight, but coming through and being able to hit a pommel horse set. I barely hit any pommel horse sets in my entire time competing. So just to get on and off without falling is a huge deal.
Yeah, pommel horse is it is often called the hardest apparatus in gymnastics for the men's gymnastics anyway, and I tend to agree. Although I did do well in pommel horse myself, I enjoyed pommel horse, but it was no easier just because I liked it. It was very difficult, and it still is. These guys are doing a lot of different skills, and here we have from the Owls, Garrett McDaniel.
That's right. This time it actually is Garrett McDaniel from Montgomery, Alabama, recreational therapy
Still
major.
from Montgomery.
Hasn't changed, but this time it's correct. Starting off with some scissor work, and now we're off into our circles. Some one pommel work. That was a more. And now we're traveling down the horse. Come on, keep it going. Good fight, Garrett. Wow. I mean, that would be a major deduction, but just the tenacity to keep pushing through and keep it going. And he finishes strong. Well done. I love to see a good fight.
That is the name of the game. I try not to say this, but gymnastics 101, right? Stay on the horse. Actually, what did they say? The first rule of pommel horse is stay on the horse. That's what it is.
Yeah, there was a coach from Pennsylvania in the juniors, Barry Mattern, who we famously used to say, "He who wins pommel horse wins."
I can't argue with that too much. It is mostly true.
Mostly, yeah. You got to kind of make the other events happen too.
And we are ready to go on the next athlete from the New York Alliance on pommel horse. We have Craig Jason.
Yep, Craig is going to be our final athlete for pommel horse.
Let's go, Craig.
But he does have some pretty good skills. Short routine, but it's going to be stacked. He's got some nice amplitude on those scissors. Again, rocking those orange socks.
There you go.
Nice half Savato down.
I'm gonna have to ask Garrison about those socks, whether that was the athlete's choices or if the coach chose that.
Are they like in Orange County or something?
That was a nice dismount.
Well done.
Solid job.
Another hit. In my gym, you lose a point for doing a dab at the end of anything. In fact, you owe me $1. None of that, boys. None of that.
This kid just has drip.
So another hit routine for the Owls. Excuse me, for New York Alliance. Let me get my names, gyms, and titles straight. They are rocking those routines. Now, that was the team on pommel horse. 2 guys, 2 hits, 100%. That's the way to go.
Yeah, and we're going back to the Owls now. We have Zach Raymond, who's coming up, and then after him, it's going to be Owls down the line, like Breeze had mentioned. So that's what we got coming up, and we are off. So far, a good rhythm in his swing. Gets into some scissor work here. Nice lies, nice toe point.
Good extension on the circles, keeping the rhythm. Pommel horse is all about rhythm, making sure that those shoulders continue to move around. Little stop there on a scissor, but kept going strong.
He's not throwing the hardest skills here, but I like the composition of the routine. Really nice flow to it. Nice dismount, sticks to landing.
That was a clever way to get his hand down from the middle of the horse to complete a tong fei. I appreciated that. That was nice.
Absolutely.
That was solid. I like that flare, which got right to that scissor work.
Yeah, that was nice. I appreciated that a lot.
So we are going to go back to back here for the Owls, and we have the judges swapping back and forth. So as soon as our judge on Pommel Horse, who is still Mike Cook, gets his execution score in, we're ready to go for the next guys. And it looks like that's on a roll. So this is Mr. Stephen Halfbone on Pommel Horse for the Owls.
And he's starting off right away with a scissor work, jumps into some circles, one pommel work. Now we're traveling down, let's see what, and we're going back into scissor work. So far, clean routine. He's doing well, staying on, number one objective, and up to the dismount. Nicely done. A little bit of a hesitation, but all in all, a solid routine. The Owls will be happy for that one.
Definitely. That's the reason to celebrate right there. A hit on Pommel Horse, a nice long routine with all the requirements fulfilled. Did his pendular swings with the leg cuts and scissors, the circling elements on the pommel, travel across the horse a couple of times, and a clean dismount came out there. So great job. That was Stephen Halfbone, from the Owls on the Pommel Horse, and fairly clean routine. So moving on to Jared Holmes, also from the Owls on Pommel Horse from Philadelphia. Here we go.
And Jarrett's going to also start off with his scissor work, and then he kicks it up into high gear, getting into circles, a little back more action. Side travel. Looks like we got some more one pommel, and there it is. Just as easy as that, you can be bucked off the horse. That's why this event is just so difficult, so fickle, really. I actually famously never officially credited for the skill, but invented the kip on Pommel Horse. Normally only done on high bar and P bars.
I would love to see this. I bet he can still do it too.
Probably. But he's back at it. And another struggle there, another fall. And a fall, what does that cost us nowadays? Is it 1 point?
That's a point, yeah.
Yeah, he'll get a 1 point off for the execution score. And then you see Coach Jesse Kitson-Abelson rocking right over by the camera here because he's trying to reach the judges, because that is the one time the coach is allowed to speak with one of the judges, and he can ask whether or not the athlete received credit for the last skill performed. So the judges will call that decision immediately right back to the coach, and then within 30 seconds, this exchange has to take place so that the coach can talk to the athlete, decide whether to repeat the skill or not.
And it looks like he did get credit for it, and he went directly for the dismount, and the dismount was solid.
Nice and clean.
Those two falls are going to cost him, and Pommel Horse is no joke. If you give it the chance, it will throw you off. No mercy from this event.
Yeah, this is one of those things that every event there are opportunities to rest a body part or a type of movement, right? On floor exercise, you got those changes between tumbling and passive movement, passive positions. And on Pommel Horse, you're just fighting gravity at all times. You're on your hands, you're on your wrists. Your wrists and shoulders are shot after an entire routine. And here it is, Mr. Taden Thurber on Pommel Horse.
We'll see how he does here. His floor routine was super solid, but there you go. And what you had said earlier, setting the tone and the momentum, and that's where the team sport comes in, because every athlete's turn affects the next one. So you could tell he's feeling the falls from the previous athlete, but he's got to get up and try to put that out of his head now.
Indeed. He's got 30 seconds to shake it off and get back up and do it again.
Come on. There we go, Magyar.
Bringing it back.
And I could see he was struggling there. I was hoping he was going to pull it off, but...
So the requirements for the skills, of course, is that you have to finish the skill and do a skill of value after, in order to receive credit for that skill that you just performed. So that last skill that he did not get the credit for it. That's a lot of work for no credit.
And rather than repeating the skill, he went right for the dismount to finish up. You could definitely see he's disappointed there, but he did put in a good fight to stay on, but unfortunately today wasn't his day.
Clearly the right decision. It was a clean dismount, a good way to finish a routine. You want to finish your routine strong and with confidence. And repeating a skill, especially that late in your routine, it's putting yourself up to a lot of risk. And still early in a meet, right? He's got 4 more events to go, and you got to make sure that you have the stamina to get across all that. You got to learn to play the meet.
Absolutely, Breeze. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anytime you have falls like that, you have an event that just doesn't go your way. You got to shake it off, not even from just routine to routine, but from event to event.
Yep. And now we have senior
Nico.
Nicolino Di Battista. Let's see how he fares. It's been bucking the Owls off quite generously. Hopefully he can change that tune. One pommel work, nicely done. And, yep, there we go. See that it's hard to turn that momentum around once the falls start happening on pommel horse. And he'll have 30 seconds to regroup, chalk up, and remount. And I guess Coach Jesse is conferring with him where he's going to start and what he got credit for and what he didn't. And here we go, back off to the races. And now he's swinging pretty good here. It looks like he's got his composure back. Shoulders are staying solidly on top of the pommels as he's circling. A little bit of a struggle. Come on. Let's go. Push.
Showing the strength. Well done.
Big dismount.
Nice comeback from Nicolino. He did have the one fall, but he really recovered well and finished strong.
Yes, he did. That was a good finish to a strong routine there. And you can see how strong this young man is. He's got, a couple of times in his routine where we saw a little bit of a wobble and, something that would have just thrown off any other athletes just because it's such a hard thing to recover from once you start to lose your balance. You start to lose your momentum and speed on a circular momentum there. And he glitched a couple times and kept going. So the skill that he actually fell on, it's called a flop sequence, where you're doing a lot of skills, at least 3 skills in a row on one pommel. And those things are very very difficult. The pommel is only an inch and a quarter wide, and to do more than one circle in a row, it's as hard as it gets. So I'm going to go ahead and mute the guys from the Owls camera there because that was coming through loud to us. Anyways, we are now completed 2 events in this New York Alliance versus the Philadelphia Owls competition, looking at the team scores as they come out, and the last scores are finally entered on pommel horse. The coaches all have an opportunity to take a look at the scores and make sure that the start values are correct. They can ask of the judges for any clarification if necessary, but it looks like we're moving right along, so I will go ahead and read off the current status. Is in second place with a total team score of 66.2. We have the New York Alliance, once again, with only a couple of performances on pommel horse, so their team score is going to be considerably lower than the Owls, who currently have 108.2 after 2 events. So there it is, the current standings. In fact, I'm looking at possibly that one of the scores is still getting adjusted, so take that as an unofficial number. I just make it up as I go, man.
Now, each event usually has a specific body type that excels better at it than another. So pommel horse, obviously, athletes with longer arms, taller, leaner, they can swing around the horse easier. And now we're going to almost the polar opposite as we get ready for rings, where you're just looking for somebody who's typically a bit smaller, shorter, compact, and it's an event that requires just brute strength. So we go from one to the extreme to the other as we exit pommel horse and head on to the still rings.
Yes, indeed. Rings was neither my favorite nor my best event. It's one of those that as an all-arounder, had to do it, and I did well enough to make the cut for the team frequently. But it was definitely a fight. Still rings, of course, a complete misnomer. They're anything but still. You have to try to keep them like that. They move around, they bounce, they swing, and your job as an athlete, as a gymnast, is to maintain those rings as still as you can. So we are going for New York Alliance on the rings, Mr. Ryan Bristow.
Yeah, we got Ryan Bristow up. Ryan's going to be doing a 7-skill routine. So really, the goal is going to be, again, keep those rings super still, show good form, nice swing on the disc up to a front uprise. And anytime that you're doing skills on rings, now that he's built up a little swing and he's in the handstand, you got to time that right with the upcoming skill to make sure you kill that swing. Going from the L here, leading right to the dismount, dislocate back half. Okay.
Yeah, back half is a fairly simple dismount to perform, but an extremely difficult dismount to land. It's a blind landing. You're coming down with a lot of speed and on the flip, because it doesn't go up very high. If you go up too high, you over rotate. So if you got to be pretty precise with that landing.
Yep.
And going right along to the Owls side of the world from Philadelphia, Mr. Alex Skaltos.
Oh, and we had a little bit of a hiccup on the mounting there from Alex, but looks like we're back under control now.
Recompose, take a deep breath, start from there.
That's all you can do. We have a kip to now, and he struggled a little bit with maintaining his legs perfectly level there. Now we're off to our swinging elements. Pike to tuck, Yamawaki. Well done. And now he picked up a little bit of swing, and as you mentioned before, now it's about timing the swinging elements to kill the swing, and back full, sticks it. Well done.
This mount was huge.
Yes, indeed. It was a gorgeous layout, full. It's a fairly simple skill, and that's what you want to finish the routine with the most elegance you can. You want to make sure that the judges see that last skill be something that's impressive, and that way you leave that a nice a good taste, if you will, at the last little bit.
We got Brandon coming up on rings. You can see how big Brandon's shoulders are, even through the video. He pulled out that straight body planche on floor. So he's going to get right to that in his ring routine. Straight to the strength element, kip to L. See that straight body planche. Got to open those hips up.
Beast.
Second hold. Solid cross
the quintessential gymnastics move right there. Can you do the T thing? I don't know.
Rings.
Dave, did you do a cross on rings, Dave?
I had a cross, yeah. I'd go back uprise cross, hold, and then go to an L cross. So I kind of cheated both those elements into one skill.
Nice.
Going to the back giant there. He found that handstand, which is impressive. And from the handstand, a bail to a big double back. 310 step on that landing. But
Brandon Henderson from New York Alliance. Yeah, the strength elements on rings, that you have multiple variations of them. You can do them either as a static hold, or you can also do them from a swinging element. Those are two variations of it. So you might see the same skill, for example, a cross performed coming from a swing, or just from a straight lower down for the hold. And they are allowed to perform those variations.
And we're back to the Owls, and we have Zach Raymond going up. Now, a lot of people don't realize just the simple handstand on rings is quite difficult because it requires a lot of core stability and also flexibility in your shoulders. So nothing is easy on rings, even when it seems to be. And we start off with some swinging elements, tuck Yamawaki up to a nice straddle planche. And he's picked up a bit of swing, so he's going to have to mitigate that. And good timing here. Nice straddle L. A skill you don't see quite so often anymore. Couple balance checks in the handstand. Giant swing. Come on, hold on to it. He's struggling, but he's fighting for it. And a front full. That is a very not common dismount, and nice to see that.
Yeah, and it was actually done really well. I'm surprised that he went up quite a bit on that front full. Typically, you see that done more of a pinging technique where the guy just kind of whips it out and he catches it by surprise. But no, excuse me, Craig did a great job with that.
We got Craig Jason coming up. We'll see another front layout full.
Excuse me, that was Zach.
Yeah, Craig will also do front layout full as his dismount here. Last guy up for NYA. Like you said earlier, NYA is competing out of Bright Raven Gymnastics Center, and the gym we're looking at here is actually Bright Raven's second gymnastics center. So this is a brand new gym. Everything they're competing on here is brand new equipment that has been set up within the last year. So here's another strength element, a back lever. Real straight. That's solid to skin the cat. Great shoulder flexibility there.
Man after my own heart, playing some good hard rock coming up.
Craig's got solid technique on these rings. You can look at his rings. His rings are turned out, showing really good control. There's an inlocate.
And there's that pinging technique. And he did it well.
Indeed.
He swung that around and pulled it out of nowhere.
It sneaks up on you. It sneaks up on you. I am always impressed when they are able to land that at all close to their feet, let alone almost sticking like he just did.
It looked like that ring pinged out of his hand, but he found the ground.
As a junior, I was petrified to learn bails up until probably 10 or 12. It was just something that horrified me, just the possibility of peeling off like that.
Yeah. But apparently he's done it before and he knew what he was doing. And that was a good routine for Craig Jason. And now we go back to the Owls, Brendan Baskin.
All right, let's see what we got going on here.
I'm curious. This is a building. Did you ever train or compete at this building here, Richie?
Ooh, Delchev. You don't see those quite often. And no, this was a facility that didn't exist when I was still a member of the Temple Owls. The Philadelphia Boys Club was founded, I don't know how many years ago, but probably within the last 6-7 years, I think.
Oh, okay. So way after your time.
Yeah. We would train in McGonigal Hall on Temple's campus. And he sits the double back down. And that was Mr. Baskin on the rings there.
Yep. Yeah, Brandon was showing some good routine, great routine. In fact, right up to the end when he started to struggle a little bit with his last swinging skills, and probably felt like he needed a little extra juice for the dismount. Pulled a little too far in his double back and failed to find the landing ground, unfortunately. But he did a good routine before that, so even with that 1 point off on the landing, he's still should show a pretty good score.
Yeah, and these guys, they're in it for the long haul. They're trying to peak at the right time for the championship. So a bit of learning pains on the way is kind of expected, and it's all just geared towards being perfect towards the end of the season. And we're back to another Temple guy here, and we have Stephen Rathbone. Let's see if he could handle it a little better than his compatriot who just went up. Nice kip to L.
Nice.
Yeah, Milwaukee in the tuck position. Up to another L. Press handstand. Handling the rings well. Not swing, what we want to see.
Small adjustments, but nothing more. Good job. And a double layout.
And yeah, just shy of being a true double layout, but I think he would get credit for that.
Yeah, indeed. Well, let's push it to the guys over there on the YouTubes. If you're on YouTube and commenting and asking questions, what do you think that this mount was worth? We got a B for a double pike, or was it a C for a double layout? What would you say? Were you sitting in the hot seat of the judges and having to make that call? What is it? Double layout, double pike. It makes a big difference in the score for these athletes, especially if they stick the landing. Because if they do a double pike, they do not get the stuck landing. Although, I gotta say that excuse me, Steven did not stick his landing either way, so it really won't make that much of a difference. But as a judge, what is it, pike or layout? So we got some comments coming up over here. People are asking about yesterday's Winter Cup. I'm going to do a quick little shout out for my friend Riley Luce, who just made national team at the Winter Cup. Congratulations to him, and also to my Hort, John Lucas, who coached Riley for such a long time. Riley now, of course, is one of the stars for Stanford gymnastics, and doing great for himself in possibly going to represent our country in some international competitions and maybe even the Olympics. Good luck, Riley. Next on rings for the Owls, Josh Moore from Philadelphia. Back upright cross. You see that swinging element to the cross, and he pulls out like a madman. Yes. Who
That
does
skill
that?
looks hard, and it's way harder than it looks.
Ooh, a front of prize to roll out. I like it. It's showing strength, agility, and grace. He's got it all.
That's called a keki.
Yeah.
Wild. Time in the swing here.
Tell you how old I am. I competed against Keki once in my life, and I had the honor of doing so in Italy, where he's revered as a demigod. Okay. Great, thank you. So that I'm going to go on a little bit more about the keki, just because it's such a marking moment of my gymnastics career. And there I was competing at the university games at the Universiad in Italy, in Sicily, and in strolls Yuri Keki, a national hero. He was, of course, the Olympic champion on rings. Created a couple skills named after him, and he was a great ringman. And when he walked into the gym, the amount of noise that crowd made was so incredible, and it went on for the entire time that he was in the gym. He walked on, he did a warm-up on rings, and he walked off, and for the entire time that he was walking in the gym, you could not hear anything other than just the sheer rumbling sound of this roaring crowd. It was incredible. He's got stamps after him, postage stamps. He's got you know his pictures all over the place in advertisement boards, and he's really a well-loved athlete and human figure in Italy. So congratulations to Yuri Keki of Italy. And here it is from the Owls, Mr. Matthew Jolion. Oh my, that's not even close to his name. It's Coljon. If I say it right. Matthew Coljon from the Owls.
See the start. Elongate. Ooh,
a little struggle there on that Yamawaki. That's, of course, supposed to go right in a row without the stop in the middle. That's all right. Gets it back together. Ooh, a planche press to handstand. I like it.
Bail the handstand. Bail dismount full in.
And a little bit of a hand drop, unfortunately. So the rings claim no sticks for this particular competition. These were some tricky dismounts these guys were performing, and unfortunately none of them stuck their landing, so no green flags anywhere for the rings. So there we have it. So ladies and gentlemen, the voices in my head are telling me that we are going to have at least one inquiry on the ring on rings from the coaches, from one of the coaches. And so what happens here is this: the coaches, as we talked about on Pommel horse, once an athlete falls, they have the they are allowed to ask of the judge whether or not this last skill receives credit or not. And of course, that's during the fall, that interaction can happen very quickly. All said and done, the guy keeps going with the routine, finishes it, and done. But now, if at the end of the routine, if the coach has a question or a concern about the start value, such as if one of the other skills in a routine may or may not have received credit, or if the athlete was or the coach was expecting the athlete to receive a start value that was usually higher than what they received for any reason, they may inquire about that score with the judges, and they may ask about that start value. They can't say anything or do anything about their the amount of deductions that was taken about from the routine, but the difficulty, the number of A, B, C's, D's, and such, they can definitely ask about that. So it looks like they're taking care of that business right there. And for the time being, though, I'm going to check in with my gallery view and see what's going on with the cameras, and maybe they're already in place for Vault. But I would love to have a quick chat um, with one or both of the coaches if they're available. I think that Garrison might actually be dealing with the inquiry right now. So we'll let him keep talking. So, gentlemen, my cohorts, my co-conspirators, how do you feel about the first half of the meet?
I think first half was definitely solid for NYA. Um, Pommel horse, 2 routines, 2 hits, rings, 3 routines, 3 hits. I mean, a couple hiccups on floor, but if I was NYA, I'd be pretty happy with the routines put out so far.
Absolutely, they are definitely performing some good sets today, showing consistency on every event. I like what I'm seeing there. So we are we're closing up on I wanted to give one more minute to the athletes because it is. Oh, we're about 30 seconds away. My clock is off by 30 seconds, which is fine, which is typically what happens. My guys say that I count too slow anyway. So I would love to. Hey, there he is, Garrison. Are you with us?
I'm here, Breeze. How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. We're going to keep these brief because the judges are ready for the next event. But I just wanted to check in with you and find out first of all, once again, thank you for hosting us. What are your thoughts on the first half of the meet so far?
Yeah, the first half is going well. I mean, I can't even, express how much praise I have to you technical guys and you spectators and you hosts out there right now. Everything about this meet is running so smoothly on our end. It's really easy to be a part of this, which I love. And it's super exciting. I know COVID has made it a little hard for New York Alliance to operate in the state of New York. It's been hit pretty bad, but we've got these dedicated guys here working hard, and it's really cool to be able to compete for the first time ever in this brand new gym that is just so bright and white and beautiful here at Bright Raven Gymnastics in Rochester. So we're having a great time, Breeze.
Fantastic. So far, so good. You guys are showing some solid, consistent routines, and you're putting it all out there, and I appreciate it. So it's great. It's fun to watch, and it's good to see that the new gym is bringing you as much success as we hope it would. Right. So keep it up. Good luck in the second half of the meet.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard from Garrison Clark, the head coach for New York Alliance, and we are going to go to the vault next, where indeed his team will be starting out. And I think that the judges are all ready to go. So I think everyone who needs to be back in the meet management is there. Brandon Henderson, here we go.
Yep. Brandon's going for a Sukatuck. And fun fact about Garrison was actually also a competitor at that first New York Alliance meet way back in 2015 against West Point. So he was actually a teammate with Brandon, who he's now coaching. So Garrison's been around just as long as New York Alliance has been around. We go way back. We met when I was competing at the college at Brockport. He was a gymnast competing at Syracuse University. So the first time we actually met was as competitors. And then when I kind of got the idea from New York Alliance, I ran it by him, and our club teams kind of came together, and that was really the birth of it. But since then, Garrison has done a lot of the legwork to keep the team going. He usually does the coaching. We got AJ Banker in that role right now, while Garrison's doing the technical work. But AJ Banker was also on that Brockport team way back in the day, and he actually recruited me to Brockport. So
Nice. That's some great overlapping histories from the coaches and the athletes of these teams. That happens often, and it's great to know that you guys are still in touch. And thanks for joining us here, and can keep as the voice of the team that you helped start. In fact, did start. So it looks like we are about ready to go. The judges were settling in to their new chairs, and here we go on vault from New York Alliance, Brandon Henderson.
Brandon's going to be leading us off with a souk tuck. So again, simple vault, but what you want to see is just some big amplitude off the table, clean form in the air.
Oh, unfortunate.
Fortunate
Those
vault.
soft landings are good for the safety, but they certainly make it hard because your heels digging just a little further than they normally do on a regular harder surface. And unfortunately, his feet got caught and he couldn't step back fast enough to catch back to stay on his feet. Hey, I just want to address real quick, as Brendan Williams on YouTube asks, do the Owls have what it takes to be top 3 GymACT team? I would say the answer, in my opinion, is a resounding yes, it is. They are certainly one of the contenders in my book. These guys are showing that they are pushing hard the boundaries of their difficulty. And they are, still early in the game. They're making some mistakes, and that's a good place to be making mistakes early in the season. This is where you find out what you can do, and then you learn to do it better, and you start kicking butt later in the season. So yeah, keep an eye out for these Owls because they are indeed a team to be watching. And you saw right there the vault for Forrest Kelly from the Owls. As I was just tooting their horn, that was a great vault. Setting it down where it belongs. And vault is a quick event.
I had some technical difficulties, but it seems I'm back online now. So I just wanted to check in and let you know.
Welcome back.
That I'm safe and sound. So
thanks for having me. Good. You're hearing the voice of Richie McGuire, former athlete from Temple, and thanks for being with us, Richie. And we are going right back over here to the New York Alliance with Brandon Baskin.
Oh, this is Craig.
Oh,
Craig come in with a souk tuck. No dab on that for Craig. Form looked a little wonky in the air, but he put it on his feet.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he's probably training to upgrade that vault into a full layout position, and maybe he felt a little ambitious and tried to do the layout position, but a little undetermined for me. But we have to see what the judges have to say about that, because the value of the vault definitely goes up by a couple of notches by going from tuck to layout. So now, with the proper name, Brandon Baskin from the Owls on vault.
And whoop, it looks like he had a bit of a brain fart there, and or he may have actually suffered an injury. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it looks like he's hurt. That's never good to see. Yeah, Coach Jesse's kneeling down beside him. Something happened on the takeoff of the board there, and he had a board going for the vault that he was meant to do, and I guess we'll find out in a little bit what's going on. But man, that's a shame to see.
Yes, indeed. That was Brendan Baskin for the Owls, and the amount of forces that it takes to hit that board from a full sprint to transfer the direction from the running into the flipping and twisting, it's tremendous. So a little tweak of the knee. Hopefully you're going to be okay. But we're going to go right back again to New York Alliance.
Ryan Bristow coming in with a cause full. Okay, gets it to his feet. Big upgrade in difficulty there, adding a full twist. Going for the layout position there. Looked a little unclear in the air, but he was definitely stretched. So we'll see what the judges say about that. But that's a big 14-0 start value there for vault. So big jump from the first two previous vaults. So hopefully that helps give a boost to the score there.
We're going to be going back to the Owls now, and we have Alex Skalkos, who's getting ready to go. Before Coach Jesse took over as the Philadelphia Owls team, he was actually coaching over in South Africa, and turning out some top guys there. And then he stood step and whoa, nice cosful, just a little trouble on the landing there, but nice to see that.
Yeah, these guys pushing the boundaries of their abilities and keeping things safe. Unfortunately, landed a little short, not quite enough repulsion from the table there on that vault, but it was definitely in a laid out position. Kazamatsu, of course, a vault created by a Japanese athlete. And a Sukahara would be a back flip with no twists. And then you can either do a Sukahara and then twist late and call it a Suk with the full, or you start twisting early into the almost like a front flip with a half turn, and that becomes the Kazamatsu style vault. Uh, those are fun to do, but got to try to get it on your feet and over rotate if you can for a little bit of extra safety on the ankles. Back with New York Alliance, we have on vault Mr.
Casey Casara. Yeah, he's our floor vault guy. So you see, he came in with the Yurchenko there. So he got the round off mat down in front of the table. He performed the round off in the back handspring. So unique entry there. Solid full twist. Yeah, another 14-0 start value there from getting the layout with the full twist. So good finish for NYA on the vault. Rocky start, but last two coming in and putting it down. Nice job.
Yeah.
And we have Taden Thurber up for the Owls. And this gentleman was super explosive on floor earlier on, so I can only imagine we're going to see a solid vault from him. Just waiting for him to go, and it looks like we have the salute there. And it'll only be a moment now. And a nice cause.
Yeah.
And he takes a tiny step, but really powerful. Great amplitude in the air. Well done, Taden.
That was a nicely done vault indeed, nice and clean in the air. And that's the kind of thing that we want to see, right? We want to see a vault that goes right over the top, keeps the axis of rotation going clean over the top of the table, straight lines. You see the lines on the floor right there on the mats. Those lines are there to demark as a demarcation exactly for the requirements that they have to land within those lines in order to receive no deduction for the axis of rotation, or not the axis of rotation, but the direction of the vault. And then, of course, if the vault is slightly skewed in the air as well, that is another kind of deduction that you could occur. So these guys are being judged on several different criteria on their vaults, and let's see what Nico has to bring for the Owls. Last guy up on
this
vault.
is Jacob Biller. If I'm not
we're
mistaken.
not on the last one. Yes, we have two more guys. Excuse me.
And oh wow!
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Nice. Yurchenko laid out back full, so that means we had a round off onto the board. He back handsprings onto the vault, and then in the air, in the laid out position, does a full twist. Super, super nice. Very technical, very tricky, but when you do it well, you could really generate a lot of power.
Yeah, that was awesome. He threw his hands out. He was prepped for the opening, prepped for the landing. You get a little bit of virtuosity there for that. So that was awesome.
Yeah, so keeping track of virtuosity is one of those things that used to be actually judged in the gymnastics routines, and unfortunately it's no longer a thing. But I certainly keep an eye out for it, and thinking about the kind of gymnastics that I like to watch, that I appreciate being performed. Something is performed with extra elegance, a little extra amplitude. That's what we're looking for, and Jacob certainly brought it together there on that vault.
Yeah, virtuosity and originality used to be. And here we have Nicolino Di Battista again doing a cosful and narrowly sticks it. Super, super nice vault. But what I was saying is they used to reward originality as well. And I would say, like, in its heyday, when originality was being rewarded in the late 70s, early 80s, you really had a plethora of just unique, crazy skills being done. And unfortunately, they took that category out as well. So kind of disincentive. There was no incentive for people to be super unique anymore.
Yeah, there was definitely a lull in the history of the gymnastics. Shortly after that, when the code of points changed and the requirements were made, so that the more emphasis was put on difficulty and and aggressiveness of this. The aggressive moves were the ones that were uh, awarded more points. And then little by little, things are coming back again. The pendulum is starting to swing back into the realm of creativity and elegance. But this is because athletes are now able to combine the aggressive moves with the grace and amplitude. So looks like we're pretty much ready to go on the parallel bars. New York Alliance is pretty much ready to go. We're checking in on the camera angles. They look fantastic from our end, and rolling right along. We let me just go ahead and point out the quickly before they start the first guy is that the team scores right now after 4 rotations with 142.8 New York Alliance, and in first place Owls Gymnastics with 230. Excuse me. 223.6 as a team score after 4 events. A great competition so far. Moving on to parallel bars. Up first for New York Alliance, Mr. Craig Jason.
Yep, we got Craig leading us off here. And like Coach Garrison said earlier, Craig is in ROTC. He's going to be graduating and moving on to the Air Force. So big ups to this kid. He trains at college at Brockport. And so their practices usually end up being late at night. So this kid is up at 6 a.m. doing his Army ROTC PT. And then he still finds the energy to practice late in the day and still do everything related to school.
Back half performs a nice job, nice parallel bar routine
with the dab. That's a signature move.
I'm shaking my head. He owes me another $1.
You're gonna be rich after this
with
meet, then.
all of the amazing dance moves in the world to be created, and he's copying that silly one. That's it.
I respect it.
Take that stuck landing away from him. Good thing. All right, so moving on to the Owls, Mr. Stephen Halfbone in Philadelphia, ready to go. We're just waiting on Judge Score to go in right away here, and off we go. Parallel bars, of course, is one of those events that we have 4 requirements for the routines, and you have the underbar swings that is a requirement. Normally, that gets taken care of right on the mount, or some gianting skills. You have to do some upper arm swings where you got your armpits and kind of your upper arms on the bar. Those are very painful. You also have your supporting skills. So when both your hands are on the bar and your shoulders are high above it, those swinging skills are also required. And then, of course, the dismount, which is you have to get off the event somehow. So you might as well make the dismount a requirement. So these 4 element groups, each worth 0.5 of a point, will add to your difficulty score. So when you see the difficulty scores being shown in the starting on the scoreboards, as you see the start value, excuse me, and you see the start value is the combination of 10 points that they have as long as they have 7 skills or more for execution, and they have the difficulty added to that. So each element, A, B, C, and so on, worth a certain amount of points. A skill is the easiest skill in gymnastics, like a forward roll on floor or a handstand on parallel bars. Those are worth 1/10 each. B skills, something like a backup rise handstand would be a B skill. That one is a B skill, but it's worth 2/10 of a point. And you just keep adding them up very quickly. That's a hard job that judges have to put it all together so quickly. And here we go. On parallel bars from the Owls, we have Mr. Stephen Rathbone.
That's right, and he's about to do some underbar work here, and it looks like we have a nice pelt. Wow, really well done. Goes right up to the handstand smoothly, pirouette, and some more underbar work. A moi, swing the handstand, front uprise, and back layout with a half. Tiny step on the dismount there, but all in all, a solid routine. Well done, Owls.
NYA has Brandon Henderson coming up next. P-bars, at least from NYA, you'll see a lot of half out on the dismount. So Craig did that back layout half. Brandon's going to do back layout half. Easy to get the swing through on handstand. So the back layout skill, adding a half twist adds an extra degree of element there, upgrades that to a B.
There you go.
So unless you have a double back or some type of front full or even a double front, usually you'll see a lot of back layout type skills.
And here we go from New York Alliance. We have Casey Casara.
This is Brandon Henderson. Brandon going to do straddle kip. Nice. Legs there. Kept it straight throughout. Goes right to the swing handstand hold. Front uprise. Nice line handstand. Coming to the back layout. Small step, but good in the air. Nice set from Brandon.
Brandon Henderson on parallel bars. Thanks for the correction. I looked at the wrong page, of course, and thanks for correcting me there. So this is a great sporting event that's happening today here between the New York Alliance team and the Owls. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to once again let you know that we are GymACT, an organization made up of 11 teams and more coming next year. We are a nonprofit organization, and everything that we do is to maintain the quality of sport of gymnastics competitively. These teams are all self-funded. That is a huge distinction between our programs and the NCAA varsity teams, is that we may be affiliated with a university, but we are not funded by the universities. Everything we do is out of our own pockets and our own determination and sweat, blood, and tears. Dave, you're here to attest to this. Starting a team for GymACT is not an easy task. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a huge community to put it all together. So if you find it in you to any ability to share a little financial contribution, please visit our gymact.org website and donate any of our donate buttons right there. We appreciate you. We are grateful for your contribution. We're grateful for your support. And here we are for the Owls, Alex Skalkos on a parallel bars, showing some underbar swing, beautiful support. Take it away, Dave. Or Richie, whichever one wants to take off.
Sure, I'll jump in there. And then we had a Peach down into underbar work, swing up to kip, into the handstand, front uprise, and a front half and solidly nails that dismount. Good job.
That was a very good, clean routine for Alex, performing on parallel bars from Swampscott.
Was that Alex or was that Forrest Kelly?
Am I still off by a couple of guys? What's happening? No, that was Alex. We had a couple of guys that the scores were not entered on the scoreboard yet.
Gotcha.
They're coming through. They're coming through little by little. So we do have Robert Davis working diligently in the back row, trying to figure out what's going on there with the scores. Of course, he built the system from scratch and running it as smoothly as it can be. And judges are doing a great job moving this meet very, very quickly. Don't you worry, we'll get the scores in.
Now, Breeze, what was your favorite move on parallel bars?
I loved and hated the Healy twill. I mean, the Healy is just one of those skills where it's bonsai for, some might say balls to the wall. You just got to go for it. And, you just never know, man. You can do 1,000 of them. And as soon as you feel a little overconfident, your fingers are gone. So I did it on my routine from the time I was a senior in high school, and never became comfortable with the skill. And it was a point of pride for me to be able to only break my finger twice in my career doing that skill.
Hey, well, at least it wasn't 3 times. Yeah,
That's
Healy
right.
is such a beautiful skill, especially when you catch it nice and high. It feels just like heaven. I agree completely.
Yeah, the feeling of completing the Healy clean and smooth, it's one of the most satisfying things that you will ever feel. So it's all worth the risk. And that was Ryan Bristow from New York Alliance. Did a great B-bar set. Another hit for New York. New York is putting it all together, man. I like this. I'm stoked. I am looking forward to more guys joining that team. So let's go, New York. Put your guys out there. Get them. Get these guys training in somewhere, somehow. Let's make it happen. They know they want to.
Look at this gym. How do you not want to be in this gym training every day?
It's a beautiful facility. I'm looking at this going, if it weren't so cold, I'd consider.
Yeah, if you come to upstate New York,
just a stone throw across the river to Canada, is it not?
We're back over to the Owls.
And I see. You want to talk about gymnastics?
Yeah, why not? Since we're doing that broadcast anyway. Stutz to handstand, front uprise, really nice line in his handstand, great toe point, peach basket to support. Looks like he's just prepping, getting his energy. A little struggle in the handstand there. Oh, come on, pull it back. Here we go. Dismount coming up. And a solid layout, tiny hop. Nice, clean routine.
Yeah, putting it together, make sure it's a hit. Another hit on the column for the Owls. That was Zach Raymond. And now we're going to stay with the Owls for our next couple of guys. We're going to have Jacob Biller going up next. Oh, we have one more from New York. Is that what happened? We skipped one?
Casey's taking his time. We got Casey.
Here we go. That's what's going on. Turns out, here I was talking about the scores not being entered. We just skipped a guy. Threw us off for a loop.
His bars. Everybody likes their bars a little different. So.
I'm the last one to hear about these things. This is why I'm so nosy. I have to go and stick my nose where it don't belong because people don't tell me things. So this will be Casey Casara.
Come on, let's go.
Last up for NYA. Okay, he's got a simple routine, but he's got a nice line here. Coming through with the pike press.
Showing off those orange socks.
A little sticky on that pirouette. Brings it right back to handstand. He's got to fight to get that straight. You can see he's fighting through the shoulders there. But all he's got is the dismount. He just didn't get the upward lift he needed from the bars. He had the rotation, but you want to float that a little bit more to get that under your feet.
Yeah, you can tell with those, someone who's as strong as Casey is, lacking a lot, in fact, in his shoulder flexibility. You see his handstand positions have a little bit of an angle on the shoulder, and that's as extended as he can get. So that also hinders him on the ability to get his feet up higher and his hips up higher on the dismount in order to rotate further and faster. So he's working with his own limitations, and he did a great routine. In fact, nice and clean, muscling the parts that he needed to get to the positions. And presenting the best gymnastics that he can do, and I appreciate that. And here we go for the Owls. This is Zach Raymond in Philadelphia from Greensboro, North Carolina.
And he mounts with a peach basket. Now, when you do these underbar skills, usually each gymnast has their own ritual with some kind of mixture of sugar water, honey, and the chalk to give him that. Oh, and he struggles on that Diamidov and comes down, and he'll have 30 seconds to remount. We'll see if he's going to repeat that. But as I was saying, each gymnast usually has their own formula and ritual to provide the maximum grip. And for me, it was like a precise scientific experiment where you had to like spit and then put the honey in the chalk and hope to God that you could hang on to the bars. And here we go, remounting.
The chemistry sets come out in the big meets when you have a national championships. You just have a line of honey and sugar water that each one slightly different color and different levels of gruesomeness.
Oh, and he struggles again on the Diam. It looks like he just wasn't able to keep his midsection together and control his whole body, so his lower body was a little bit behind, and fell again on the Diamidov.
Yeah, parallel
I'm
bars, as all gymnastics events, there's a high level of precision that is required, and just 1 or 2 degrees off on any one direction, and it can throw you off the bars, or just far enough that you don't get your hands where they belong.
moves on with a stutz to handstand, a little bit of a form break there. And front uprise, swing the handstand. I imagine we have a dismount coming up next. And double back, a bit of a step there.
Feet to the ground.
That's right. Good to see him pull through after the 2 falls. Never easy to do, to push through after you've had a couple falls in your routine.
Yeah, the amount of tenacity that these athletes have to have, right? And it's just go get them. You got to get up one time more than you fell. It is just the way it is. It's that's the sport. We start, of course, at a young age. You make mistakes on those simple skills, and you learn to brush it off and move on. And as you grow older and more powerful, you learn to control your temper. You learn to control your technique, and you just got to keep going. It's the only way to improve. You learn from your mistakes. In fact, I would say you learn more from your mistakes than from your successes.
Absolutely. And let's hope Jacob Biller can learn from his mistakes and show us a nice solid routine here. Oh, and there's the Healy turn that you were talking about. And he handles it nicely. Stutz the handstand. Really nice lines from this gymnast. And a double back, and he just a short of rotation and sets it down. But man, aside from that dismount, that was a gorgeous routine. That was Jacob Biller from the Owls.
That was indeed a beautiful routine from Jacob. It's got such clean lines. Unfortunately, just got give himself a little too short of a set on that dismount, and it just happens. Like I said, what is it? Difference of maybe 5 degrees up, a little higher on his hips, and he would have flipped twice as fast. Would have put it in his feet. In fact, over rotated. So a great routine. Unfortunate on a landing, but that's what it is. You finish it up, you get up and got one more event to do, and you got one more teammate to go. So you keep your head held high and you keep the spirits going for the team. Gymnastics, of course, it's a highly individual sport. It's only you against the event, right? It's you and yourself against yourself in the event. But these guys are competing as a team for the team score, and you got to figure out how to maintain that level of the positive attitude from start to finish, no matter what's happening, because you got 5 other guys in your team in that event to present.
And here we have Nicolino Di Battista, last man for the Owls. Nice peach to handstand, nearly straight arms there. Diamidov, gorgeous.
There you go.
Looking super solid here, confident. Really steady for temples. Nice hop half. Classic skill, not seen too much anymore. Press handstand.
Come on, Nico.
Let's go, Nico. Dismount. Here we come. Double.
There it is.
And almost sticks it.
We
Wow,
were
great
all
gymnastics
leaning.
by
I almost fell
Nico.
off my chair.
Well, it's nice to see that after a teammate had a fall in the dismount, Nico came in there and just crushed that routine. The only real deduction he had was that balance check before the dismount and maybe 1 or 2 arm bends here or there. But, man, that was a solid routine. The Owls are going to be happy with that one.
Yes, they should indeed. That was a clean set, elegant. I love the old P bar 1-2, the Diamidov to Stus combination. That's a classic, an oldie but a goodie. We like seeing that, especially when it's done as nicely as Nico performed it. So thanks, Nico, for doing good gymnastics. Makes us feel good about what we're watching, and you should be feeling good about that, helping your team out. And I'm looking at the level of deductions he had. A small amount of the deductions. Now, the deductions, as I would normally put it, is if you can keep your deductions to less than 2 points, that's a pretty good routine. If you got less than 1 point or close to 1 point in deductions, that is an awesome routine. And I'm actually looking at Craig Jason on P bars with a 1.2 off only on parallel bars. That's a really clean, beautiful set. And that's exactly what we like to see. So I'm taking a look here at the camera angles for the owls. Make sure that you back up a little bit more so we have a little more distance and height. Thank you very much, Nia and Sydney, for taking care of that for us. We are ready to go with New York Alliance. And John, if you can take a look at the camera angle when they're done with that too, make sure that we're clean and matching.
Yep.
Here we go on high bar. Last event, Brandon Henderson.
Big stem swing. We're going to see a vault catch over the top. Nice. Brandon's routine is pretty simple. Oh, he's got to get to the handstand there. He's going to choose to reset.
Yeah, when you have a routine that only has 7 counting skills, every skill is crucial. If you do 6 skills instead of 7, that is a 4-point deduction for having too short of a routine. So he's going to go right back up again and make sure that he gets credit for that skill right there.
Yeah, he's got to get
count
handstand over the bar to get it to count. But the front giant and the half pirouette count there. And big double back step on the landing, but a lot of time in the air.
Nice and clean.
I think he skipped a free hip to handstand there. So we'll see if he's got his hands up in the air. He knows,
we know what happened. We know what happened. So all that work to make sure that he got that one skill credit, and he forgot another one in his routine. And unfortunately, these guys are, they're competing a lot of routines in one day. And as just as you learn one skill, you learn one routine, you learn how to compete all the routines in one day. And at the end of the day, you're fatigued, your brain is tired, your body's tired. You just got to put it all together. And a small hiccup like that can cost you, in this case, 4 points off in his start value. That's unfortunate. But you live and learn. Next time he's going to get up there, and I guarantee you he's not going to forget that free hip.
He's had a solid night though, all around, Brandon.
Yeah, hit on every routine other than that. I liked it.
Did the all around.
And we are over in Philadelphia with the Owls. This is Alex Skalkos.
Absolutely, and we're going to see how they handle this event as a team. Last meet they had a rough go at it. They had 2 athletes peel off the high bar. It was a little bit of a tough go for them. So here's their chance at redemption from the last meet, and on we go.
High bar, typically the most exciting of events with the high flying release moves. And, this thing is 9 feet tall. So these guys are swinging from 9 feet, and everything they do, if they do a dismount, they go 3 feet higher than a bar. You do the math. There's a lot of forces coming down on those legs and ankles.
Absolutely.
Alex did a great job.
Making his way through his release move, and then we had a full pirouette there. And now it looks like he's going to be cranking for his dismount, I think. And a solid, simple, clean routine.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take that, and they'll be happy to build momentum off that one.
Yes, a great start for the Owls on high bar, fulfilling all the element groups necessary. You got your release move, you got your circular movements or the giants. You have in-bar skills where it's like the glide kip or a stalder, and you have your dismount. Those 4 element groups make up the requirements for the high bar, and then you just add your difficulty to that, and you get yourself a good start value. And as Alex performed right there, with a nice clean routine, less than 2 points off in deductions, that's a good way to start for the Owls for sure. Moving right along, New York Alliance, we have Craig Jason.
Last all-arounder for NYA. Craig.
There's a vault catch.
That vault catch
fills that rib. Oh, yeah, through the handstand half turn. Get credit, baby.
I don't know if that was planned, but that was a great adjustment. Coming through on the jam, kicks that out.
Nice jam.
Bar swings there. Big double layout. Let's see if you can get a nice stretch position. Chinese tap. Okay.
All right. That was the old body changing technique to get the body around twice as laid out as possible. Looks like you might have coughed out a lung there on the landing, though. A little stiff-legged on the landing. Yeah, we all know what that feels like.
Now,
But
what year do we think the Chinese tap came into prominence? I feel like it was probably mid 90s or late 90s. What do you guys think?
yeah, I would say that it was definitely early '90s that we started seeing some of that technique being performed more readily, and then by the late '90s, it was pretty much the norm.
Yeah,
Before
absolutely.
then, the guys, especially the guys doing double layouts, you would see a lot of that pinging technique, similar to what we
Hmm.
got the guys that did on rings, that front full, we just let go super early and you flip as fast as you can and then go up very high. That was the norm for the double layout dismounts, and then once namely aptly the Chinese step, of course, performed at first by the Chinese athletes who developed that technique, that specific technique. And if I remember correctly, it was originally frowned upon, because you are changing your body position so much that it could actually be considered a deduction for changing your tap so much like that. But of course, now it's
We
become the norm.
are back to gymnastics with Matthew Coljohn of the Owls.
Sure, say his name straight, and I can't.
Do my best when I can. And we have a blind change there. Routine's moving along smoothly. And a Weiler kip, not easy to handle that bad boy right there.
If that
And he
looked
hits it-
risky, it is.
And there's your Chinese tap. And he just pulls that around too much. But that was a nice routine. But yeah, just a little too much on that dismount, and he over rotated it.
Yeah, another case of the I'm not sure if I have enough gas to finish this routine. I'm going to pull as hard as I can on the dismount, and of course overcompensated. That was unfortunate. Matt did a great routine. I liked his the Yamawaki at the beginning, which is the basically a straight body vault catch, if you will, where he performed that really really well. So well done, Matt, on the high bar. Casey Casara for New York.
Casey's going to round up a night for NYA. So he's bringing home bacon here. Casey's from Staten Island, New York. He trains at Athletic Edge. So he makes his way up to Rochester for every meet and for every team practice. Huge ginger there. Nice and away from the bar that looked real floaty. Gonna see a couple turns here. Coming in for the Weiler kip. Gets it over. Last dismount for the Alliance. Cranks it over tap. Nice dismount.
Well
Nice.
done.
Yeah.
And for those people who don't know New York geography, going from Staten Island to Rochester is quite a commitment. I want to say that's at least 6 hours. So good on him.
In good weather.
Oh, freezing up there.
So yes, this is the level of dedication that these athletes have to put on in order to be part of the teams here and to continue their career in gymnastics. I applaud their hard work and dedication every day. We do the best that we can to provide opportunities for them to train in gyms, and Freddie opens his gym for this competition to take place. So thanks for all of the gymnastics communities for coming together for this. And here we are for the Owls in Philadelphia. We have Zach Raymond.
And he is one of the taller looking gymnasts. We'll see how well he manipulates the high bar here. Oh, nice pirouette to start. And looks like we have a reverse heck coming out. Oh, just overshoots it too much. Yeah, he didn't get out in front of that reverse heck with his chest enough, and he pinged it over the top, and fortunately it wasn't even in the cards to grab it, but we'll see if he's going to repeat the element for credit or move on.
Yeah, halfway through, you're almost hoping that he does not reach for the bar at that stage of the game, because it was going to look sketchy. But
yeah,
he's going to remount the bar and see if he and his coach Jesse right there talking it over, see if he's going to repeat that skill or not.
And it looks like it because we have his teammate behind with the mat prepped, ready for the possibility of a miss. So
as we mentioned, a release move is required.
Hopefully he can
There
make
we
the
go.
adjustment that he needs. And it looks like he was doing a good job making the adjustments, but just clipped his heels on the bar there. That's tough to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a solid metal bar. And if you've never been hit with a, let's say, an aluminum baseball bat in the Achilles, you don't know what this feels like. And I can tell you that I have several times, both with a baseball bat and a high bar, been hit in the Achilles. So it is as painful as it looks. It's crazy. And this guy's got to come right back up there again, shake it off, literally, and forget about the pain and put on his best effort for the rest of the routine. This is a great, great show of sportsmanship and tenacity from this athlete, Zach Raymond from the Owls. Finishing strong for his team, for his brothers.
Nice endo there. Super great compression and endo full pirouette to mixed grip. And he's looking good here. Despite 2 falls, he seems to have a good amount of energy still left. Dismount coming up. That Chinese tap we talked about. Tuck and pull out, and he sticks to dismount. Well done, sir. Well done.
Indeed, that is the marks of a champion right there. On making mistakes, making the adjustment to fix the mistake, and putting the skill where it belongs, and then and then unfortunately another set of circumstances showed up at that Tkachev, but then he gets up again, finishes the routine elegantly, and a beautiful stuck landing just to show how well he can do that. So congratulations indeed to Zach Raymond for that great performance.
What was your worst crash on high bar, Breeze?
I crashed very often on my signature skill, which was a full twisting ginger. I pride myself on having what I consider the highest ginger that I ever saw, and missing it was just as spectacular as it was catching it.
I can imagine. We're back to the Owls now.
Back to the Owls.
And let's see what they can give us. That same reverse hex skill, and he catches it. Great to see. Moving on, we have a blind change. Pirouette. Free hip, you don't see those too often. No good. We got it. Okay. Was that double, or was that just a full? Sorry, I can't, with the connection, I didn't see it.
That was just a full.
Another hit for the Owls when it counts. Well done, Jacob. Pulling together a solid routine with very little deduction. Exactly what his team needs to continue edging up that team score. Of course, these teams are fighting not only for the W here today, but they're also trying to reach a qualifying score to head to national championships at the end of the year. Nationals, as it stands, has been announced that it's going to be happening. The National Collegiate Championships, USA Gymnastics National Collegiate Championships, will be taking place the same weekend as the Junior National Championships in Florida, mid-May. So we're looking forward to having that event, double event in one venue. It's going to be fantastic. Here we have Taden Thurber from the Owls on high bar, bringing it home for his team. There's the Tkachev right on the bar where it belongs. Kicks the giant nice and clean out of it. Pulling a Stalder move. That's an in-bar skill, once again, requirement on high bar. Stalder with a half. Trying to keep those lines going right to handstand as often as possible. That's, of course, where it's required. Oh, pulls it together. Keep it up, buddy. Taden is swinging as hard as he can, trying to keep the momentum going. He's going to kick it hard. You see the excitement, right? His teammates, double layout, and a stuck landing.
Wow.
Taden
There we
brings
go.
it together, and it counts.
That was huge.
And man, he was cranking for that dismount.
Taden puts it together when it counts for his teammates, bringing it up the volume, the intensity, getting that momentum rising further and harder and faster. And we saw each routine from the Owls improving little by little, but this was not a little improvement. This was a huge leap for the Owls. a great big jump up in the intensity of both difficulty as well as performance. That's what we want to see. We want to see excitement. We want to see these high level uh, energy level routines, and that's exactly what we got from Tatum Thurber. Thank you so much for bringing it out, putting it out on the gym floor, and pulling it together for yourself and for your brothers. That was a great routine.
And we
And
have one
bringing the last
more.
one. Go
Goodness,
ahead,
for
Richie.
the
Bring us home.
Nicolino Di Battista, just his teammate with a solid hit, so he's feeling confident. A little of the pressure taken off of him, and now he's just got to go up and do his job. Let's go, Nicolino. Coach Jesse lifting him up to the bar, and we're off. Let's see what he has for his mount. A nice Veronin, almost completely stretched there. Weiler kip. Tricky element, that one. Very fickle. And we have a jam. Nice. He's cruising along smoothly now. Oh, half top. Named after Japanese gymnast Takamoto. And we got the dismount coming up. Chinese tap. Laying full out.
Beautiful job. And a phenomenal ending to a fantastic high bar performance. That was Nico Di Battista on the high bar for the Owls, performing a beautiful routine from start to finish, starting with the Yamawaki, a laid out Veronin, and ending with a half in, half out laid out position with a stuck landing. That definitely gets himself a green stuck landing flag. 1/10 bonus for that. Fantastic performance for the Owls. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the competition for today between New York Alliance and the Philadelphia Owls. What a fantastic night of gymnastics. This was exciting. We saw it all. We saw the drama. We saw the mistakes. We saw them get back up. We saw them perform amazing stuff. Great difficulty. I'd like to say one big thanks to my friend Richard McGuire and to Dave Albaranes, who came to us here to help me try to stay on task and stay focused on my script. And of course, I don't. So take that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We are going to be announcing the final team results and also a couple of awards are going to be presented for the post meet show, if you will. So for a couple of minutes here, we're going to make sure that the judges are finishing out the scores. If the coaches have any questions in regards to the scores that were given this today, they have an opportunity to ask the judges of that. And I would just say out loud a couple of logistical things that as soon as you guys are all ready on all the other channels, come on right back onto the on-air channel so that we can have a conversation all together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what a great performance. Owls, New York Alliance, our as team hosts, our East Coast contingency for GymACT, 2 of the 11 teams that are competing this year. And we're GymACT and Virtual Stars Gymnastics helping bringing these teams together virtually as often as we can to maintain some sort of normalcy in their season. And we showed tonight that it is possible. These guys were judged fair and square. They were performing the routines. They were cranking it up when it counted, and the intensity, the passion, the emotion, it was all there. So I love being part of this. This is what makes it tick. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I have more and more people are showing up here on the live air channel. Coaches, if you can hear my voice and you can verbally confirm that you have looked at the scores and that you confirm that you don't have any questions in regards to the start values, then we can go ahead and start making the announcements for the team scores and then the awards. Quick reminder to the thank you. New York Alliance has approved, so we're good there, and just waiting then for Jesse to come up with his thumbs up. Reminder to the judges: I am going to call on you guys to give out the ROV award to one of the performers in the gym of the competition that you may feel excelled in any one of those qualities of gymnastics, not the objective, rather the subjective opinion of risk, originality, or virtuosity. What do you think was the best ROV performer of the evening? Also, for the athletes of the teams themselves, talk amongst yourselves because I want you guys to elect the most valuable teammate for the evening. What do you have? What do you feel was the pivotal performance? What do you think was the best? Uh, uh, who set the best foot forward for the team? Who put it all out there on the line? So athletes, go ahead and start picking that up, and then from the announcers, from the commentators, if you have a special moment, one of what impacted you the most in tonight's performance by anyone at any point, it doesn't have to be an actual a single one. If there's more points, then what was most impressive to you? We'll talk about that in a little bit too. So that was my spiel. Once again, GymACT, a nonprofit organization, gymact.org is our website. Go check it out. We got lots of information about the teams there. You can check out the teams across the country from Washington all the way to Georgia. We got teams forming every other day, apparently, because that's what we do. And we are here to provide opportunities for these athletes to continue competing after high school as they pursue their educational endeavors and furthering their lives into new careers post gymnastics. But while they develop that, we want them to be in the gym where they like to be. So, did we get a thumbs up from Jesse that I didn't hear, or am I making it up?
Hi,
Okay.
Breeze. Yes,
So,
I have a thumbs up for you.
well, thank you. Appreciate
You
that.
can't
So,
see it, but I'm putting my thumb up. I don't know where the
the-
camera is. Oh, there it is.
I kind of
Wait,
want to
I'm
know where
coming.
that
I'm
thumb is.
coming. I'm coming.
Okay, just tell me
The
about it.
thumb's
That's good
coming.
enough.
Here. There it is.
Aha! Officially a thumbs up from Jesse. Thank you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the final score then for tonight. If you're following along in our scoreboard on Virtual Stars Gymnastics website, with 203, excuse me, 213.2 total team score, New York Alliance. And in first place tonight with 336.10 from Philadelphia, Owls Gymnastics. All right, all right, all right. That was fantastic. Now I'm gonna continue talking about the Owls and say what a great job that is. Now this is 336.1. I could be mistaken, but I think that is their highest team score for the year. I'm gonna go with yes until I hear otherwise. And a great performance from the Owls. You know, still we talked to Jesse last week about there were they had homework to do after the last meet, and it looked like they got back on the horse literally and improved their performance tonight in so many great ways. So, ladies and gentlemen, that now concludes the official portion of our presentation of tonight's competition. Now, athletes, don't go anywhere. In fact, we're still waiting to see the Owls team in front of the camera so that we can present to them their individual awards. And in fact, Jesse, we need to do our GymACT 1, 2, 3 go GymACT backflip as we don't officially. There you go. We don't finish the event until that happens. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able to, we're going to say 1, 2, 3 go GymACT and a backflip. Anyone who is able to. Greg, I'm expecting to see one from you tonight. Our newbie judge. I see you.
Not going to happen.
When was the last time you did a backflip, Greg?
On the trampoline, I've done them, but not on the floor. My knees can't handle it.
You and I both, brother. I'm going to sit in this chair and count out loud so that I keep the pace, but I'm not doing one either. Last time I did one at the end of one of these things, I almost needed the face surgery. I did one. When was it? Was it for the handstand contest? Yeah, I did it at the end of the handstand contest. I almost died, but I did it. So, on 3, let's finish this official gymnastics competition. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to New York Alliance and the Owls gymnastics team. On 3, go GymACT. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go GymACT.
Go GymACT.
Indeed. I'm Breeze Olson from Santa Cruz, California, joined here with John Lucas, Robert Davis, Dave Alberanis. We got Richie McGuire. We got Greg Dedich. We got Mike Cook. We got Peter Wiggins. And everyone else at home who joined us, thank you for coming. Now, we are going to be presenting the individual awards. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for everything. Much peace, aloha, and health to us all. Now, here we go. We are going to announce each event at a time before we do these special awards. So, in first place on the floor, I need to figure out how to read this. Oh, right here. Okay, got it. So, in first place on the floor exercise with a whopping 12.9, we got Mr. Nico Di Battista. That was indeed a phenomenal routine by Nico on floor exercise. Great job. Hearing right there with his teammates. All right, here we go. Moving on to the beast, the pig, the hardest event in gymnastics with an 11.4. Swung strong and stayed on from New York Alliance, Mr. Craig Jason. That is it. And then on rings, keeping them as still as you can, in first place from the Owls with an 11.3, Mr. Steven Rathbone. That was a great routine. Moving on to vault. He can run, he can jump, he can land. In first place with a 13.3. A huge vault from the Owls, Mr. Jacob Biller. Yeah, let's hear those cheers from those guys and the teams, the Zoom cameras. Anyone in the Owls camera? Can we unmute that? Hear those guys clapping for each other? It'd be great. I can take the reverb. It's okay. Moving on to the parallel bars. Parallel bars. In first place with a 12.5 from the Owls, he's once again on the top of the podium, Mr. Nico Di Battista.
Yeah, way to go, Nico.
There we go. There we go. Get the timing of that button right. Way to go, Garrison. Thank you. On high bar. It was pretty close. We had a couple of good ones. Anyways, he turned out to be the last guy up on high bar for the evening and the highest score of the night on that event as well. Again, at the top of the podium with an 11.8 from the Owls, Mr. Nico Di Battista. A stuck landing, finishing with an exclamation point. That's exactly what we need. And a few guys performed 6 events this evening. So we call them all-arounders, but only one can be first. And I will tell you that tonight, with a 67.5 in first place from New York Alliance, Mr. Craig Jason. Attaboy, Craig. All right, moving right along now for our special awards. And because these guys have been working so hard, we want them to have the opportunity to go home and enjoy the rest of their evening. Judges, if I can have one spokesperson give us the rundown of your ROV award, the Risk, Originality, and Virtuosity award for the evening. What do you say?
This is Mike. I'll speak up for the judges. So we saw a lot of good routines, some originality today. We saw Delchev on rings. We don't see that very often. We also saw Keki on rings from Josh, which is pretty cool. 2 guys did really good Yuchenko Foals on vault. Casey from New York and Jacob from the Owls. But the thing that impressed us the most, which was the very last thing that we saw, which is the coolest way to end a meet, was the stuck full twisting double layout from Nico on high bar. And so that's our ROV. Our showcase stopper tonight is Nico. Way to go, Nico.
A great finish indeed to a fantastic meet. And that was Nico's great dismount. Congratulations. And our ROV presentation from the judges, recognized for the beauty and elegance. Congratulations, Nico. And also congratulations to many others who performed some amazing gymnastics tonight. Now we have, I'm going to call on the commentators before we go back to the athletes. Do you have, Richie, do you have something that stuck out for you today? What impressed you the most?
Yeah, for me, it was between 2 moments. It was between the one the judges just mentioned, and I guess the one I'll go with was the Yurchenko laid out full on vault by Jacob Biller. That was super nice. I was not expecting it, and yeah, that one really struck a chord with me. So
All
good
right,
job.
Jacob impressed one of the commentators, and we've seen a lot of gymnastics. We got some things to say. Dave Albaranes, what were you impressed by tonight?
Yeah, for me, I think I got to give it out to Casey at NYA to mount with a double and then finish with a full in. I mean, that's a packed routine from start to finish. So I think he put a lot in there and definitely worthy of a mighty floor score.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That was a great performance. And I'm going to put my 2 cents in here. The one thing that impressed me the most this meet, and I'm going to tell you what it was, it's the guy who gets up and finishes strong. And no one represented that feeling of tenacity, of gung-ho-ness, of go-get-emness. And I can keep making up words as I go here, as I saw from the Owls tonight, Mr. Zach Raymond on high bar. Give it up for this man, keeping it going from start to finish and getting it together. And I would say a pivotal performance for the Owls to pick up the momentum and keep going to the finish, which was then Nico's beautiful landing on the dismount. So that was the moment where the team just became the brotherhood, the team spirit, the essence of team sport that is the college gymnastics. So congratulations to Zach for making your team one team. All right, so without further ado, I would like to call now on the visiting team, if you will, the last award for the evening, something that is important to me and it's special to our organization as a theme. This is this sense of camaraderie and togetherness that we have in our teams and the teammates. So, athletes, I'm going to call on the Owls to come on, step forward, and give me your most valuable teammate award. So come on in front of the camera. Are you going to need your coach's phone for the volume? Or just talk right into the camera. We'll hear you.
So we chose Nico.
Hang on a second. First of all, before you give it away, who am I talking to?
Garrett McDaniel. So,
all right, Garrett. Thank you for introducing yourself. Garrett, one of the team captains, is it not?
Yes, I'm the co-captain.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and present your award before I interrupt you again.
Awesome. Okay, so we chose Nico for this meet. He really showed something great. We didn't have him on vault today, but he warmed it up and he still competed for us. Pommel was a fight, and we loved that. And high bar was a great finish, and so does the PRR team.
All right, congratulations, Nico. Do you have a few words to give back to your brothers?
Yeah, did you ask me to talk?
Yeah, you have a few words?
Yeah. I'd just like to thank my teammates for this award. Obviously, we're all going to go out there, we're going to fight. I hope that someone else next to me wins this award because I just want everyone to go out there and work as hard as they can to be the most valuable teammate. And to me, I think that everyone is a really valuable teammate for going out there and trying their best. Even the guy, who their score may not count or, they might not have the best day. Everyone's score counts to me, and everyone's effort is worth it to me.
Beautifully said, sir. Some wise words. I appreciate that. And that is precisely why you're being awarded by your own teammates this recognition. So congratulations to you and your team for a wonderful performance tonight. From top to bottom, mistakes are made, but you guys pick up and finish strong. And that's exactly what needs to happen. So thank you and congratulations. And lastly, let's go ahead and bring up the captain from New York Alliance and present the most valuable teammate award for your team. First off, thank you for being here. Thanks for being our hosts, and congratulations to your team. And who am I talking to?
Casey Casara and Ryan Bristow.
All right. And what do you have as far as what your decision for the most valuable teammate for tonight?
So we're giving our most valuable teammate award to Craig Jason. Not only did he win Pommel Horse, but he competed all around, and he's always like the most positive one, supporting us and making sure that we all keep our spirits up even when we don't have the best routine. So that's why we're giving him the most valuable teammate award.
Beautifully presented. And Craig, what do you have to say, buddy?
Did they say something to me? Hey, friends.
You were just recognized by your teammates as the most valuable teammate award for some amazing values that you brought, not only with your gymnastics but also with your attitude and your energy. So, do you have some words to kick back to your brothers?
I didn't prepare a speech. Yeah. So no, this sport has changed a lot for me over the last few years, and it's become a lot more enjoyable than stressful. I used to stress at these competitions and really like get down in the dumps when I was having a bad day. And as I've moved to college gymnastics, I've returned to the funness of it a little bit. So really encouraging others and letting them recognize the fun is part of what makes it so enjoyable for me to continue competing in my old age.
That's great. And I want to ask you though, what is it about the sport? Because it's too much damn work, man. Why come back to gymnastics and continue doing this day after day and going through the pain and suffering just to stay in the sport? What makes it tick for you, and why are you actually having more fun now than ever before?
Oh, answering that one is tough. Garrison has somehow convinced me to compete all around for 4 more years. I came to school thinking I'd compete 3 events, but really just it's hard to walk away from. There's no other sport like it in the world. There's no challenges like this in my everyday life, and physical activity is really what gets me through the day a lot of the time. So continuing to do this thing I've been doing for almost 20 years now is just too hard to walk away from, I guess.
There it is. It's too hard to walk away. I certainly understand that. Gymnastics, I joke around, is like the mafia. You try to leave and it doesn't let you. And you know, whether it's a coach or a teammate or just the pure joy of the sport, it keeps you coming in here. I want to open up the floor to anyone, and so team representatives, if you can translate my words to the teams. Does anyone have anything they would like to say about their team or their coaches or the facilities, or some words of encouragement for athletes out there who are right now trying to make the decision on what to do for college? Should I stay in the sport? Should I go? Should I move on to something completely different? Anyone has anything to say as far as the encouraging a kid who is right now about to graduate high school and is trying to decide for himself, is this worth it or not?
Hey, Jesse,
Hey, Breeze,
I'm
we
going to
still
go
on?
ahead.
Yeah, we're still on, man. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah. Let me turn down the other speaker. Okay. Hey, just wanted to say thanks for the meet to Garrison, and thanks for you guys on Virtual Stars and what John Lucas is doing behind the scenes. So he provided another meet for us. So we needed that. This was our second of 2 meets for the conference matchup. So it was nice to see the guys in New York in their Bright Raven gym, spectacular gym, and it was a pleasure to go against you guys. Yeah, it was a tough day, but there were. I could definitely tell the best takeaway was that for the Owls, the energy was no problem. They were supportive, good team spirit regardless, and that's really what I like to see. That's what we've been working on the past couple of years with getting this culture right. And that even if it's a really tough meet, there was no change in emotion of positivity. So that's what made me really happy to see. And anyway, we've got a few weeks off from competition, and then we're gonna really start to kick things into high gear as we in the next few weeks. But thank you guys.
Thank you, Jesse. And unbeknownst to you, you actually just answered my question beautifully. I was asking for if any of the athletes or even the coaches or the judges, in fact, had something to say in regards to, you know, suggestions or some sort of encouragement to athletes who are now finishing their high school career, and whether or not they would be moving on to the college scene or not. But exactly what you just described, this team camaraderie and the energy is, to me, the number one factor by far, and you guys definitely exemplified that today to perfection, right?
I
You
got it.
do what you
Can
got to
I
do.
can I answer the question? Because I definitely didn't hear the original question, and I would love
Yeah.
to answer that question about
Please
high
do.
school
Bring it
athletes.
on.
So if you're a high school athlete watching, there is most definitely a place for you to do college gymnastics all around. We're growing GymACT. We've got 11 teams. We've got a few more coming out the bush, and on the East Coast and the West Coast and down south. So it's all going up from here. If you think men's gymnastics is rock bottom or going downhill, you're wrong. It's just changing. It's changing. It's changing maybe away from a university scene, but it's back in our own community. We're going to grow it. And like I said, there's a place for you to do college gymnastics somewhere in the country. Don't think you're not good enough. We're always looking to grow this team, people to add value in various ways. So there's definitely room for any high school athlete.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that. Congratulations to you and to your team tonight. Great performance. And I said it on air, but I want to verify with you. 336.10. That looked to me like your highest team score so far this year. Is that true?
No, actually, no, it's not. We had a 340 something in the last meet, and just a few of those. Well, there's a, a lot of errors of why it's lower, but some short routines and immediately knock 4 points off.
Yeah,
So
that'll do it.
it's good to know these errors now and not happen at nationals if we're edging on that short routine and not aware of it. So no, there's a lot left for us to do. So this wasn't our heist, but we're just going to shoot right up from here.
There you go. Well, Godspeed to you and to your athletes. Congratulations. And I'm going to have a couple of words with Garrison before we close up shop for good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care. All right, Garrison, right to you in the studio. I can hear it just fine. So your closing thoughts on the meet for tonight. Go for it.
I can't express enough praise to all the judges, the people running the technical aspects of this, the hosts out there. You guys were phenomenal. You made it super fun in the gym as well. And especially any sort of parents, gymnasts, spectators that are out there in the world, gym owners and coaches that's just support the sport enough for us to be able to do things like this. You guys are amazing. And, every single one of you are just a very important part for what we're doing here, whether you're a part of organizing it or not. So thank you to everyone involved. And I couldn't agree more with what you guys said about men's gymnastics. Maybe it's going through a change, but it's on the rise. It's growing a lot. It becomes more and more fun, more and more entertaining, more and more enjoyable. And there is a lot of opportunities out there for gymnasts, not only leaving high school, but even, beyond college. We have a student on our team right now who's actually in graduate school. He finished his undergrad and he's going to graduate school. And we have even opportunities for gymnasts like that to continue. So I love what we're doing here at GymACT, and I hope all the gymnasts out there know, there is a lot of opportunity out there for you guys in this country. Just reach out, and in New York, we're pushing hard to really grow in the next 2 years. So we hope we hear from you.
There it is, all the way from New York, all the way down here to California. We are all working hard to maintain the quality of competition in the sport of gymnastics through college and beyond. So once again, I'd like to say thank you to everyone involved in this production. I want to say thank you to our viewers who stuck with us from start to finish. This was a long event, as all gymnastics meets are, but it ran smoothly. Everyone was safe and sound. And I want to say once again, special thanks to the judges who came from near, far, and beyond. Mike Cook, and we have Peter Wiggins, and we have Greg, who, if I don't have my list in front of me, I don't know his last name. Here it is, Didich. And thank you so much for your participation. We can't have this meet without you guys, and your time and energy is valued and honored. I appreciate it. Dave Albarandes, thanks for being here. Richie McGuire, thanks for coming back, dusting off those cobwebs and helping me stay on task. Robert Davis, the man behind the computer screen, thank you for everything you do and did. This is your event, as far as I'm concerned. If it wasn't for you and your hard work, we'd all just be staring at a blank screen. And John Lucas, the production man, making it look great, making me sound as good as I can become sound for the world. I love you, my brother, my co-coach here in NorCal United. Our work is always the funnest part of my day and my week and my month. Thanks, brother. All right, Owls, New York Alliance. Thank you so much. World, peace, love, aloha. This is Breeze from Santa Cruz, California. I'll see you again next Gym Live event. Good night.